I just had the most god-awful customer service experience in the Verizon store. The young lady was exceptionally rude. She's having literal conversations with me from across the floor. When I'm asking her questions, she's staring me down like I'm stupid, till I have to stand there and wait for her. I mean, it was god awful, until I literally had to shake my head. I put my hands out, I shook my head, and I said, I'm sorry, I'm just so unaccustomed to this level of customer service at this location or with this brand. I'm sorry, I need a moment to digest. She didn't change her demeanor. She didn't change her attitude, nothing. Now, I needed to handle my business, and I needed to handle business that Verizon, the brand, was equipped to offer me. Although I didn't receive the experience expected from the customer service representative, who is an extension of the brand, but unreflective of the brand, the business that I needed to ensue had to be done. And so I was able to endure the hardship of her poor treatment because I needed to handle my business, and I knew that my relationship with Verizon, my contractual business relationships with Verizon, afforded me the opportunity to do so. Now, this is what y'all do. This is what y'all do with God. Y'all say the representative was a poor reflection. Therefore, I'm not going back to Verizon. I'm going to switch to T-Mobile. But your contractual agreement, you're covering your 5G service, your Wi-Fi management, I ain't techie, so I don't know the terms, is with Verizon. So you all want to cancel contracts with God because the representative was a poor reflection. And it is your hardened heart. My apostle said something yesterday so powerful. And she was talking about the condition of the heart. And she said a hardened heart will lead someone to either backslide, and if not backslide, to look to other religions. And what you're really doing is you're trying to find an alternative for, and so I could have walked out. But I needed to handle my business. And I understood, because of maturity, that your kids ain't always a perfect reflection of you. Some of you have mothered your children better than they have stewarded your leadership. Some of you have fathered your children better than they have stewarded your leadership. And you have raised them, and you have trained them up well, and you have developed them properly, and you provided for them adequately. And yet they get out in these streets and they downright embarrass you. But it doesn't make them any less of your child. And some of you like to disregard the God of these poor examples, and you want to disqualify him for being who he is because someone woke up got up off the wrong side of the bed that morning. God is God. And one thing I've learned to do is to separate. While I do expect to see the fruit of the Spirit in men that say that they follow and submit to God, even if I don't, I'm looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of my faith, who for the joy set before him, endured the cross for me and despised the shame for me. Everybody has not endured the cross for you, and everybody won't. But Jesus did. And I'm not going to get disconnected to the God of all because of a person he birthed that did not reflect him right. Y'all got to do better, and y'all got to grow up and stop blaming God for what the people of God do. No more than you want a teacher to say, oh, the parent of Scotty must be a degenerate, whack, low level, don't know no better, ashy ankle, wrinkled toe chick or father because your child acting up in school. Appropriate your expectations. Let God be God. Let God be God. I grew up having experience. I didn't grow up under, because all of my tutelage was not submitted to poor reflections of the Lord Jesus Christ. But I have endured some things, and I have endured those who would call themselves fathers, or those who would call themselves leaders, who have done some deplorable things. And you know what though? I was able to separate it. I knew that you weren't the standard that I would read on my own. And I think that's another part of the problem, is we're unfamiliar with standard as it comes from our Holy Father, because the only standard we hear of is that which is preached to a man in a pulpit. And because there's no personal relationship, or there's no personal discipleship, you may not know that God isn't pleased with the same thing that offended you, just like you weren't pleased with it. But don't let the offense turn you away from the God who is your answer. He's not only your healer, but he's also theirs. And he not only loves you, but he also loves your offender. If you gonna disconnect, just stop using poor reflections of him through persons as the excuse, and tell yourself the truth. My heart is hard. I'm offended. I'm bitter. I haven't forgiven. I need more mercy. And let the reality of the condition of your heart lead and govern your affairs. Let's grow up in God, y'all. Come on, let's grow up in God.